remain in my collection today. Richard Boone stars as Paladin, a Civil War veteran and gun for hire. The White Knight chess piece was his symbol and featured heavily in the opening credits. It was on his holster, business card, and one of his rifles. It made such an impression that I had the Knight chess piece incorporated into business cards I made up for my platoon in the wake of September 11, 2001. They were emblazoned with Steve McQueen's line in The Magnificent Seven, "We deal in lead, friend. SEAL Team 5 Delta Platoon Scout Snipers." An idea inspired by Stephen Hunter's masterpiece, Point of Impact. I thought we might use them the way Bob Lee Swagger does in that book. We never did. I still have one of the cards. Though the fourth option is firmly seated in the mythology of Paladin and the Old West, it is also an homage to some of the other books, television shows, and movies that were so impactful on me during the formative years of my youth, even helping set the course my life would follow. A testament to the influence of popular culture. The astute listener will note elements of Shane, The Magnificent Seven, High Plains Drifter, and Pale Rider, along with themes explored in books by Louis L'Amour and Zane Grey. Fellow Gen Xers will recognize whispers of Magnum P.I., The Equalizer, and Airwolf, with a dash of the A-Team for good measure. Comic book fans will identify a nod to Batman. Some may see contemporary links to The Shield, Dexter, and True Detective. In the hours ahead, you will find a couple of direct references to Lethal Weapon. Yes, of course, it's a Christmas movie, but it's also a film that threw gasoline on the fire of the 1980s cop buddy movie subgenre while exploring justice through the eyes of two Vietnam veterans turned Los Angeles police officers. As I pushed forward with the Terminal List series, with the growing demands of books and television shows in that universe, I began to realize that I might never get to the fourth option. That prospect weighed heavily on me as it remained important that I tell this story. As a reader of Tom Clancy and admirer of his contributions to the worlds of literature and entertainment, I was acutely aware that after his seventh novel, he branched out into nonfiction, and after his eighth, he created the Op Center series outside the Jack Ryan universe. With that example in mind, in April 2023, I decided to pitch The Fourth Option to my publisher and editor, Emily Bessler, as a co-written thriller. I got the green light immediately. That left finding a co-author who shared my vision and wanted to collaborate. As soon as I read The Handler by former Naval Intelligence Officer M.P. Woodward, I knew I had found the right person. I reached out to him in late 2024, and he didn't hesitate. He was in. I sent him the 40-page PowerPoint treatment for The Fourth Option, and we got to work on the outline via texts, emails, and Zooms. Once the outline was complete, MP dove into the rough draft of the manuscript and delivered it in August 2025. I then worked on it from August through December and sent it to Simon & Schuster at the end of 2025. Edits continued into early 2026, at which point I switched gears to the new James Reese Terminal List series novel. Yes, James Reese will be back. This story explores disillusionment, abandonment, idealism, corruption, vigilantism, purpose, and despair. It examines the role of violence in the pursuit of peace and justice. As I wrote in my initial summary of The Fourth Option all those years ago, disillusioned by the government and institutions he dedicated his life to serving, former Navy SEAL and CIA Ground Branch operative Chris Walker is about to end his life when he receives a call that saves it. The book asks the question, do you burn the system down that has enabled unthinkable evils, or do you work to expose corruption and ultimately fix it? Is fixing it even possible? This narrative incorporates those questions plaguing discourse in the American social and political zeitgeists through the medium of popular fiction. The foundation of this story was laid when I was in the single digits, enthralled with have-gun will travel. It was further envisioned during my final years of service and then more solidly developed in the summer of 2021 as I watched the disastrous withdrawal.
To keep listening to this audiobook for free, click the link in the description. It will take you to a free Audible trial where you can listen to this and many other books for free for 30 days.